Somewhere on the second floor of the Federal Secretariat Complex in Abuja, a man ran an office for months. He had a letterhead, he had a seal, he had a title, Director General. He hosted foreign diplomats. He tried to get visas issued through a formal US diplomatic channel. The agency he claimed to run does not exist. It has never existed. This is the story of how that happened, and the much bigger question it raises. How many more offices like this one are sitting inside Nigeria's federal bureaucracy right now, undetected? Meet Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew. For the better part of a year, he presented himself publicly as Director General of something called the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, sometimes also referred to as the Presidential Economic Advisory Council. Neither of those bodies is a real Nigerian government agency. According to the Presidency and Nigeria Police, here's the documented timeline. October 17, 2025, the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, formally petitions the DSS and the police, reporting forged appointment letters circulating under his office's name. October 27, 2025, police arrest Adeyemi at the Secretariat office where he was operating. Searchers of that office and his home in Suleja turn up documents investigators describe as forged. Investigators say they found 34 bank accounts linked to him, 9 of them opened in the names of fictitious government agencies, plus a Central Bank of Nigeria account he allegedly obtained by misleading officials in the Accountant General's office. The presidency states no government funds were ever paid into it. November 27, 2025. Police file an 8-count criminal charge against Adeyemi and 2 alleged accomplices at the Federal High Court in Abuja. His trial is scheduled for July 27, 2026. The case is currently before the court, which matters, and we'll come back to that. This isn't Adeyemi's first act either. Back in 2016, he presented himself as an ambassador and president general of something called the World Youth Organization, claiming it was UN-affiliated and that he'd been elected in New Delhi. The United Nations later said no such body existed. Here's where it gets messy. While out on police bail, Adeyemi made a dramatic new claim that the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, personally demanded 27.4 billion naira as a takeoff grant for the fake agency and collected 400 million naira through intermediaries to secure his own appointment, with 200 million naira still allegedly owed. He said the fallout from that unpaid balance led to threats against his life, and he publicly called for an independent panel, at one point invoking the US president, to investigate. There's a problem with that story. It directly contradicts the statement Adeyemi gave police back in November 2025, before any of this became public. The Chief of Staff's office responded on June 8, 2026, a fresh, direct disclaimer calling Adeyemi an imposter. The presidency, through spokesman Bayo Onanuga, followed with a full public statement on July 1st, laying out the whole timeline you just heard and describing Adeyemi as, in their words, a serial con artist. According to human rights lawyer Femi Falana, the presidency lacked the constitutional authority to exonerate anyone in the matter, as he called for an independent probe of both the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, and Adeyemi, regardless of how the bribery claim resolves in court. This is not the first time Nigeria has discovered a government structure that shouldn't exist. When Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala served as finance minister, her ministry's push into the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, exposed something staggering. Tens of thousands of ghost workers, names on federal payrolls drawing monthly salaries for jobs, and in some cases entire departments, that didn't correspond to any real, verifiable person. Nigeria's government has since acknowledged recovering significant sums by purging fraudulent entries from federal payrolls in multiple waves over the following decade, a problem that resurfaces almost every few years under different administrations. So here's the question this case should actually be forcing onto the national agenda. If one fake council could get office space inside the Federal Secretariat Complex, meet with foreign diplomats, and request a formal US visa channel before anyone caught it, What confidence does anyone have in the full list of agencies and parastatals currently operating across the federal government? Nigeria runs hundreds of federal agencies, commissions, councils, and parastatals. Not all of them are well known. Not all of them are easy for an ordinary Nigerian or even a mid-level civil servant to verify against an official register. That opacity is precisely the soil this kind of fraud grows in.